Bron Breakker is the newest Paul Heyman guy, and we still have no idea how to wrap our heads around this whole thing and the big fallout on the Raw after WrestleMania. The devious Seth Rollins was out there with Paul Heyman, who, of course, aligned himself with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 41, and it didn't take long for the Seeking Revenge CM Punk and Roman Reigns to come out to seek revenge. But when Roman Reigns tried exacting that physical revenge on Paul Heyman, he was hit with a spear from a man who was, wait, yeah, that's Bron Breakker underneath that hooded sweatshirt. The alliance was confirmed as the final shot of the night, and we now have something massive to look forward to in the post-WrestleMania season. Yeah, WWE is not letting up during their biggest season of the year, trying to hook those casual fans that tune in around this time to stick around and take the ride. This is Sportskeeda Wrestling. Where is this going with Paul Heyman, Bron Breakker, and Seth Rollins? Let us know what you think in the comments below. I am Kevin Kellum. I'm not a Paul Heyman guy. I don't think they would accept me for that if I applied, but follow me on the Instagram. WWE usually tries its best to create as much excitement as possible for what it feels like for the new season of WWE on the Raw after WrestleMania. And this past week's Raw after WrestleMania certainly achieved a lot of that, creating a lot of conversation and anticipation for what's to come. The fallout from Mania feels significant. Some have claimed that the fallout from WrestleMania in the past has never really gained the momentum off the big show, but that's not the case this year at all. An episode that was filled with twists and turns in front of a sold-out crowd in Las Vegas. The biggest twist of them all was Bron Breakker becoming the newest Paul Heyman guy. With an extra level of insurance, the wise man Paul Heyman just took things up to a new level. So where exactly is this going? And what exactly does this mean? And what are the possibilities? Let's explore all of it. Although it was surprising at first. Yeah, it was shocking. We're trying to process the idea of how much Bron Breakker has leveled up in this one angle that was pulled off very, very well physically by everyone involved. The entire idea of Bron Breakker being a Paul Heyman guy, that's not surprising. It lines up. He fits the mold of previous Heyman projects of the past. Breakker has the dominance and a top-level athletic prowess that is just undeniable. But he's not the complete package just yet. Still, it was easy to see his potential in NXT, where he dominated and became the NXT champion, and of course, the significant run he had with the WWE Intercontinental Championship. The fact that he was always destined to be a massive star seems always there. Now, where's the clickover? Where's the level up? Is that what we're seeing right now? Paul Heyman and Bron Breakker have crossed paths in the past in NXT in October of 2023, and it went well as you might expect, with some saying from that simple exchange there was something there that was untapped. Now, consider the Bron Breakker keg tapped. It was clear that right then it was a match made in heaven, and Bron Breakker hasn't been shy to admit that. He straight up said that he hoped to work with Paul Heyman someday. What's interesting is that each Paul Heyman guy, as they've been dubbed, there's an entirely different kind of relationship between all of them and Heyman, who is one of the most influential minds in the wrestling business. While he was the mouthpiece and advocate for Brock Lesnar, he didn't really need to do the talking for CM Punk, who is one of the best promos in the business, or Roman Reigns, but he did, yeah, and aligned after 2020, and they had a hell of a run with the Bloodline. But Bron Breakker, he might need a little assistance in the personality department. But what if things weren't simply just Rollins, Breakker, and Heyman? No. What if WWE had plans to kickstart a year-long storyline to create the newest and hottest faction in the entire company, the hottest faction of 2025? We've seen the past years of WWE under Triple H really get dominated in a widespread way, with a lot of talent tied to the Judgment Day, warring with the Judgment Day, and people warring with the Bloodline, and the Bloodline warring with the themselves. Nobody did it quite like the Bloodline did, and with the group essentially parting ways and being broken up across the card, the Judgment Day are on the brink of another major change, and there's likely a need for maybe another group to play a different role in WWE. The Judgment Day isn't there yet, but it's quite evident that they're past their peak, and with Finn Balor looking unhappy, it's hard to tell where they will end and if that end will be coming quite soon. What's clear is that the key members of the JD in the purple and black, like Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, and Raquel Rodriguez, don't really need the Judgment Day anymore. It leaves a big vacuum for another major team to fill the role, especially off WWE having so much content and talent being spread out. Tying them together in one type of mission makes it easier to follow the storylines. Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, and Paul Heyman working together is part of that element. So could there be another member joining this new Heyman family House of Heyman group? It seems highly likely. For now, the direction seems a brief alliance by odd fellows Roman Reigns and CM Punk to fight their common enemies in Bron Breakker and Seth Rollins. This will likely lead to a major tag team match of sorts, and we doubt the story ends just there. Instead, what it's likely to do is set up a new member of the group, similar to the Evolution faction that WWE featured on television 2 decades ago. Who that member could be is quite the bit to speculate about, but the first name that popped into our mind is Austin Theory. He's not exactly been a priority under Triple H and his creative team, but you want to have someone who's young and fresh and certainly has an upside on their future. With this move giving them a new lease on life, and Theory certainly getting one as well by being associated with this new hot group. It's also possible that the new Heyman family group could utilize an out-of-the-box call-up to Raw from WWE NXT. Trick Williams as a bad dude getting bad advice from Paul Heyman in his ear? That would be something different. The man herself, Becky Lynch, coming around and working alongside her husband, Seth Rollins, on screen would also be unique in this circumstance. Her recent questionable ethical turn and her heel turn on her fellow Irish countrywoman, Lila Valkyria, after they recently lost the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships after her recent triumphant return at WrestleMania. It all lines up. If she's in the heel column, why don't you go to the top of the card with it? Keep the shock factor going with Heyman at her side as she pursues a revived quest for dominance of the WWE Women's Division. Heyman himself has not worked with a female talent in this kind of capacity in quite some time. At this stage in his Hall of Fame career, it would certainly be a unique role for him to work with a big female talent and their quest for gold as well. No matter what, a lot of this group is really built around Seth Rollins and what his future is going to be at this stage of his career, with all of them really playing a supporting role to him, and maybe his pursuit of clashing with a now babyface of the people, Jey Uso, a fighting champion, maybe Rollins cheating his way to becoming World Heavyweight Champion once again, because what other villain deserves it more? Booing Seth Rollins over the past 10 years plus is something that WWE fans can get used to, and they can start doing again in the near future. They're already doing it now. In the process of this story, it's going to serve as a way to maybe push Bron Breakker to the stratosphere. Don't be surprised to see WWE strapping the rocket to Breakker's back in the coming year, turning him into the next major WWE superstar. Triple H and his team have been responsible for the biggest moments of WWE's biggest stars that we've seen in the recent years. Cody Rhodes dethroning Roman Reigns, Rhea Ripley's ascent to the top, but there's always been a caveat to it. Both Ripley and Rhodes spent most of their time establishing themselves well before the Triple H era. They just happened to be in the right place at the right time, so they could reap the benefits of that work. But for Bron Breakker, the circumstances are completely different. Yeah, he had the pedigree of being the son of Rick Steiner, the nephew of Scott Steiner, but he is very much a creation under WWE's system, under Triple H. He is a created superstar from scratch from NXT 2.0. Bron Breakker might just be the star of 2025, so get ready for an incredible ride, because this new alliance is really going to create some pain for everyone else in WWE, and certainly on Monday Night Raw and Netflix moving forward. As always, thank you for watching. Let us know what you think is next for this new group led by the devious Paul Heyman. Hit the like button, turn the notifications on, and remember to keep watching Sportskeeda Wrestling.